This legend now had a dream, a goal, a mission to be able to orange pill somebody here, a fellow pilot. Legends, this is the aeroplane that I flew into the air show on, absolutely epic.
Zulu Sierra X-ray cleared for takeoff, make right turn.
Cleared for takeoff, make right turn, Zulu Sierra X-ray.
Copy that, and cleared to Brisbane via Budgie 500, Rock Camp 10-3, departure time by
Parked up next to this legend now, I had a dream, a goal, a mission to be able to orange pill somebody here, a fellow pilot, and I've already achieved that objective. It's pretty sick. I gave him a copy of Lawrence Lepard's The Big Print. I reckon if you want to understand Bitcoin, that's the go-to book. It's about 13 and a half hours reading time. I read in 2.5 days. At the start of the year, finishing on the 3rd of January, about 10 a.m. I just could not put the book down. It's so incredible. But the reason I want to give it to a pilot is because flying's a freaking expensive hobby. I had to give it up for the last 5 years to be able to buy, stack, and chill. I bought a jet ski to be able to keep me sane because I needed a hobby to be able to do. And I just knew that's what would allow me to decompress. Had very hectic, 2 to 3 side hustles. A main bullshit 9-to-5 job. And I think Bitcoin's the way out of it. And I think it's going to help people, especially in aviation, maintenance, etc., repairs. They're so expensive. I interviewed a guy last year, Cam Duty from Brickyard VC, and he's got a Cirrus. And what he was doing is, for his repair, his maintenance fund, etc., the overhaul funds, he put Bitcoin in there instead of cash. And I reckon there's probably enough money to buy a new Cirrus, which is pretty insane, I think. That's the power of Bitcoin. How sexy. The aeroplane. That's what I live for. It's absolutely grand. It's absolutely glorious. It's just to be around aeroplanes where I haven't been for so long. This is how I grew up.
All station air
It's in my blood, and I think we should be able to have whatever hobby it is that we want, but it requires sacrifice. It requires proof of work. So how much Bitcoin is enough? Really, it's one. For someone that's starting on zero today and people are like, oh, it's so expensive, never going to be able to afford it. Yeah, most people won't. Most people are not going to give up everything else in their lives, put their head down, overextend on the mortgage, etc., take money out of the redraw. I understand most people are not going to do that, but most people are not going to be wealthy. They're not going to be rich. They're not going to be free. Unfortunately, they'll probably own nothing and be happy, and I don't want that to happen. So I truly believe it's still possible to get to 1 Bitcoin, but it's going to take everything, all your focus, all your dedication over the next 4 years to make that happen. These Easies, they're a pretty freaking interesting looking aeroplane. We'll go over. And fuck, there's so many cool aeroplanes here. That's so awesome. How cool are these things? I wonder if they're bumpy or smooth in the air. I reckon they're fast. They look fast. So many epic experimentals. This, not a Van's RV8, but Van's probably their aircraft that I'll get. Won't be anytime soon. There's none for sale in Australia, or at least none in my price bracket. And I will not be using Bitcoin to be buying toys. It's what cash flow is for, and I think that's why it's so important to keep the bullshit job, have the side hustles. And the side hustles are to be able to stack skills. Maybe not to make money in the first 4 years, But after that, to be able to put those in place to then be able to increase your income, which is by providing greater value to the wider world and getting compensated in what the world labels money, fiat currency, flip that into Bitcoin, or better yet, get paid in Bitcoin. I still haven't worked that out. But pretty simple trade, and the banks have been pretty decent lately of letting me get Bitcoin out of the banking system, so credit where credit's due. They're all bad, but they're not bad all the time. This is cool, this cool little aeroplane. But for people that are, oh, one Bitcoin, not going to happen. Yeah, it's probably not going to happen for you. If you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're 100% right. 100% agree with that. And still you might be like, shit, yeah, I'm a legend. I can do it. I'm going to get to one Bitcoin. You still might not. You may still fail. But what if you get to 0.6, 0.5, 0.4? It's better than nothing. And by that time, you know, if Bitcoin's ripping $1 million, got 0.5, $500,000 in fiat. Obviously, 0.5 Bitcoin is 0.5 Bitcoin, not $500,000 at $1 million. But, you know, we like the fiat price occasionally. It's something to get people talking, at least. And, you know, I've talked to people. Somebody paid for their cat's operation, a really good friend of mine the other day. $3,500. Maybe that was like $500 worth of fiat when they first put it in, saved it for a while. It was 5 times cheaper. And math's not working out there. 7 times cheaper on that. It was pretty intense coming in. I managed perfect land. I'll show you some real cool footage. But if you don't think you're going to get to one Bitcoin, cool, sorry. I hope you change your mind and do what you can. But if you can't, 1.1 Bitcoin, that's definitely better than nothing. But actually how I'm thinking about Bitcoin now, and to be able to create that freedom within your life that you deserve. You deserve, if you're going to put in the work, is find out what your weekly costs are. Roughly. Maybe it costs you $1,000 a week to live at the moment. I know that's on the lighter side, especially here in Australia. Maybe it's $2,000, $3,000. Whatever it is, I believe Bitcoin in the next 5 years is going to be $1 million. That's a 10x from here, roughly, thereabouts. So for every $100 you're saving now, if your weekly expenses are $1,000, every $100 you're buying back a week of your life in 5 years' time. That's pretty incredible. If you want to buy back, let's just say with $1,000 example, if you want to buy a month back, that's $400. Saving $400 a week is freaking hard. Really hard. But you could do that. And if you're saving $400 a week, that's $1,600 a month. You're saving over like 4 months per month. That's pretty incredible. That's really freaking amazing. So hopefully that happens. I don't know if you can see it. Bummer. Super sick. So cool. That aircraft, the Avenger, parks and folds its wings up. It's freaking amazing. There's some really cool planes here. I can't believe I let aviation out of my life for so long. It's yesterday I was in the circuit pattern, and Emma, aerobatic champion, she's got an extra that will be up putting on the display very shortly. She was in the circuit pattern doing snap rolls and stuff yesterday. It was freaking amazing. And as I rocked up to the Aero Club, just taxiing past, and I'm like, holy shit, that's a freaking epic looking aeroplane. So I ran out onto the taxiway, and watching her. She's doing like snap rollers in the circuit, and then we're flying around in the circuit together and stuff. She's just coming in under it. It was just freaking absolutely epic. She was going right, I was going left. It was super cool little Jabiru. Interesting aircraft. They're made in Australia. At the start, they had a lot of accidents. I think a lot of engine trouble, but they've fixed that. And I think most of them are RAOs. But they're very cheap, like super cheap. Little two-seater, you can get them for like, I think 26 grand was the last price I saw one at. It's pretty cool. But I don't know. I could get one of those. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see what's possible. I could get one now. But I just don't know if it's fun. I want something that can go fairly long distance that's IFR capable, which means I can fly up in the clouds, shitty weather, to be able to get down south, you know, Brisbane, Victoria, etc. It's not going to happen in Jabiru with luggage, the dogs, everything in the background. Fucking, how cool is the world? How cool is human engineering ingenuity to be able to create these aircraft? Flying is freaking amazing. And then like how far we've come. Isn't it amazing though, the Concorde no longer flying, and we haven't been flying as fast commercially since then. It's crazy. Fucking big is this thing. That's incredible. That is just freaking absolutely awesome. Anyway, I'm gonna roll a bit of footage. Oh, this big baby, it did some really epic low flyings. I think this one's a yak. I wish I knew the name of planes more. It's been a little bit. But what a beast. Isn't she a beauty? Look at that. What a darling. There's just some sexy machinery here. Anyway, gonna get out of here. I have just totally walked around the flags, just doing my own thing. With the camera, you can get away with shit. And I guess that's something that Bitcoin taught me as well, that you can just do shit. And nobody's told me off. Nobody got me in trouble. Anyway, we'll roll some flying footage for the legends out there. Get to 1 Bitcoin or 0.1 Bitcoin, whatever. Just put in the proof work. And if you think you're working hard, you need to work a whole lot harder. You need to be going to bed absolutely fucking exhausted. It's just for a period, a season in your life. It's not forever. How cool is that? Sign off there. Roll the footage.
Bravo, there's not behind. Should I stood orbit on time? I only need 600 metres on the runway speed, so have it to buck. Bravo, clear to land, bye bye.